also be conducted by audio and video conference without the requirement of a physically present quorum of the Rock Island City Council due to the disaster declaration issued by Governor Pritzker. Because of this order related to COVID-19 health concerns affecting the state and the city, the mayor has determined that an in-person meeting at City Hall with all participants may not be practical or prudent. All the persons and staff may not all be physically present at City Hall due to the disaster, and physical attendance at City Hall may be limited. To participate remotely during the public comment or public hearing portion of this meeting, please join by phone at 1-314-474-2113, PIN 766-065-854#.
Thank you very much. Roll call.
Alderperson Robinson.
Present.
Hertz.
Here.
Gilbert.
Present.
Swanson.
Here.
Parker. Poulos.
Here.
Healy.
Here.
And Mayor Tomes.
Here. Thank you. Can we rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Public comment. None listed up there. Nobody signed up? Is there anybody virtual? Nobody virtual. All right. We will then move on to item number, excuse me, well, I've got it. Item 21 is going to be pulled from the agenda. Item 21 will be pulled. Item number 7.
Minutes from the April 11th, 2022 City Council meeting.
Move to approve the minutes as printed.
Second.
Move to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
Item number 8.
Minutes from the April 11th, 2022 closed session meeting.
Move to approve the closed session minutes. Second.
Move to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
Item number 9, Rock Island update. Couple items here. Community garage sale. Come to Longview Park on Saturday, April 30th, 2022, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. for the community garage sale. Shop for toys, trinkets, furniture, home decor, books, and much more. Admissions is free. The vendor booths are $20 per space. For additional information, contact the Park and Recreation Department at 309-732-7275. Black Hawk State Historic Site. To host their 45th annual Stroll Through Springtime event on Saturday, April 30th, from 7 a.m. to noon at the Singing Bird Lodge Center. Explore Black Hawk Forest's natural preserves through birds watching, wildflowers, identification, and more. Join for one of the events or stay for the full morning. All ages are welcome to this free event. For more information, call 309-788-9536, or you can email hallbergmuseum@gmail.com. The Rock Island Library, an evening with Nick Offerman and Jeff Tweedy. Join the library online through Zoom for an evening with actor, humorist, and woodworker Nick Offerman and his walking companion Jeff Tweedy. For the band Wilco on Wednesday, April 27th, 2022, from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Registration is free, and you can go to the Rock Island Public Library website, which is rockislandlibrary.org, to register. Think you know Star Wars? Join the library in celebrating May the 4th day early, in trivia prizes and fun. May the 4th, a day early, with trivia prizes and fun. I'm trying to get that. Fun. On May 3rd, 2022, come to the downtown library from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. In 5 rounds of 5 questions, will you be victorious? For more events and information, you can visit the library website at www.rockislandlibrary.org. Thank you. Item number 10.
Mayor Tomes will close a regular meeting and open a public hearing on a request from Nicole Watson Lamb, the Urban Reserve, for a waiver of the signature requirement to secure a liquor license at 1711 Second Avenue.
All right, I close the regular meeting and open the public hearing. And Nicole, would you like to come up and tell us your plans and everything else, and issue signatures, and then we'll let anybody else if they want to speak about it.
So you want to know, so the venue itself is a luxury event suite, rooftop deck, completely renovated. It was originally storage for Barkins clothing, and also served as office space for Vandergist Law at one time. I acquired the building in 2017, completely gutted it for the most part. And so now we're just looking to open for events, receptions, weddings, retirement parties, graduations. So that's why we need the liquor license, so that we can be able to serve alcohol at those same events.
And the first floor is?
The first floor is Miss Permani's, so that's another business of mine as well. So yeah, I'm invested, and we need the liquor license.
That's exactly. Is anybody in the audience, we have the chance to at least to speak for or against this?
Oh, my God.
You give them an opportunity, or virtually. If anybody out there would like to speak, or against, neutral. City Council, have any questions?
I do have a question. It says that in your email that due to city-owned properties and not being able to locate and communicate with some of the property owners after several attempts, can you describe to everyone what you did and what you attempted to get those signatures?
Well, I mean, being that COVID is still prevalent, if I had email addresses, then I emailed and also sent mailers as well. I actually, how many of the signatures did I have out of the, what number?
I have it in front of me.
You had 11.
There you go, somebody.
You needed 9 and you had 11.
I needed 9
Yeah,
and I had 11.
right.
But I'm here because the city is, okay.
Yeah, there's one property the city owns, and it automatically defaults to becoming here when the city owns a piece of property, so,
Okay.
is one of them.
Okay. Yeah, and I actually got 2 more in after I had already submitted my application. I don't know if I answered your question or not, but
No, you, absolutely.
Any other questions? Anybody in the audience?
Well, it did say in the paperwork that, and I don't know the timing on this, but the certificate of liability of insurance, that you did not have that.
I have that now.
You have that now?
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right. If there's nothing else, I will close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting
thank you.
and look for a motion.
So I move to recommend to the mayor, liquor commissioner, to waive the signature requirement as requested and approve the liquor license.
Second.
Go ahead.
It's been moved and seconded.
All right.
Third. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert. Aye. Swanson.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye. Item number 11.
Mayor Tomes will close a regular meeting and open a public hearing on a request from Kenneth Allen, The Gathering, for a waiver of the signature requirement to secure a liquor license at 1718 Second Avenue.
All right, I'll close the regular meeting and open the public hearing. And Mr. Allen, would you like to come up, explain your process and what you're looking at?
How's everyone?
Good, thank you.
Okay, everybody knows this building was the old Chantilly Lace, Kai's. Haven't done much change to the structure. It's pretty much the same. Opening up a bar. I plan on adding a restaurant down the line, hopefully with the help of Rock Island, you know. I'm pretty much ready to open. I just need a pass on these signatures, and yeah, I'm good to go.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody that would like to speak for or against? Yes, Carrie, come on forward. Let's let her have the microphone, please.
Hi, Carrie Jorgensen. I represent Home Base Property Management and Rock Island Economic Growth. We own several properties in the, Rock Island Economic Growth owns several properties in the vicinity of the proposed business. We wish the council to deny the request, asking for a waiver of signatures. The type of business does not comply within our policy for signing new liquor requests. Never presented on what type of business is going to the property, never met with presented a business plan, never submitted building plans, no mention of a food service component, which cannot have a business owner stating will have a food service component in the future, but instead, our policy states at least 90% of the work to construct the kitchen must be completed.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody else that wishes to speak, virtually or in the audience? All right, council.
Well, I just want to speak in defense of Mr. Allen. From working with him with this project, the initial plan for the kitchen is just future. That's just something, that's nothing that's actually on the plans at this moment. Their intent is to actually open it up as just a bar at this moment. So the kitchen is not a component for the actual license, if I'm correct.
Yes. And also, I have submitted plans to the city of Rock Island. I've had this building for 3 years in May. So this is nothing new.
Okay, any other?
To clarify a couple things, so how many actual signatures did you have?
6.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay.
While you're looking, Randy.
Something on here said 7, I thought. but-
Okay, I did get the grocery store's owner's signature farther down the line.
Okay, a couple more things. I'm going to direct this question to our city attorney, and I'm not, again, just for the record. So you listed Jason Morgan, who is actually the owner of the property, as a petitioner. Is that because of a conflict of interest? Is that an allowable? I guess I'm just wanting for public record here.
I don't see anything in the plain language of the code that would make that a conflict of interest. It refers to property owners, and it looks like to me, from what I've been told, I haven't looked at a deed, but it's been represented to me that he is the property owner for this site. So I would think that he would fall under the heading of property owner, in my opinion.
Next, I got a couple more questions for you. So have you engaged in any other activity involving alcohol on those premises?
No.
You have not. So I guess I'm just going to question you on this. There was a St. Patrick's party notification that came out for a party on March 12th. Is
Can I
this?
see that? Now,
You-
that was only given a private staff. You shouldn't have that. How did you get that?
I have that.
Who gave it to you?
I'm just telling you I have it.
But you shouldn't have it.
I have it, but why did you have a party there?
Okay, it wasn't a party there. That was for staff only. If I filed a
The
police.
St. Patrick's
Now,
celebration,
in
was
this
there alcohol there?
incident, no,
There was no alcohol there.
no. And again, I filed a complaint against the police department for illegally just walking into my building and coming and making a false report like that. It was only staff there, and as I spoke to Mayor Toms and told him, it was about 10 people there. And if you look at the police report, it says it was about 15 people. So it was no party.
Well, it sure looks like it's advertised. Have
Okay,
you also been- have you
if
also-
you look on there, what does it
What's
say?
It says a celebration, Saturday, March 12th, St. Patrick's celebration.
You don't see any prices, you don't see any advertisement of alcohol, you don't see anything.
No, there's a
Those
beer
was
mug, there's a
privately-
beer mug down here.
those
I would
was
assume that is the.
That's because it's
your
St.
main-
Patrick's Day.
Okay, well, you say you're having St. Patrick's Day celebration. In
Again,
my opinion, that includes probably alcohol.
it was staff, and the officer who came in there, he seen no alcohol. No one was drinking, everyone was sitting down. There's no mention of alcohol in this report, so I don't know why you're saying alcohol.
Even if staff shouldn't have been in there because you
Look,
didn't have.
this looks like you're trying to stop a black man from opening up a bar.
I'm just asking
down-
questions.
And
that
I've
are
told, and
concerned.
I've answered your questions.
Well, my
And-
question
in
is
the
if you're
police
not
report, it
following
doesn't
the
say
rules
alcohol,
prior
and
to
you're
the
talking
liquor-
about alcohol, and it doesn't even say that in the police report.
I asked you a question, that's
And
why
I
I'm
answered
asking
it,
you.
and you talk to me like I'm lying to you.
No, I'm just asking you a question, I'm asking for a reply.
I replied, I said there was no alcohol.
Okay, my next question is, have you been having MMA fighting upstairs on the second floor?
No.
Well, I can tell you, I've had several accounts of people that have witnessed the fighting upstairs and the MMA variety
The
upstairs.
city has talked to me about this a long time ago, and there is no MMA fighting upstairs. The people that you see coming in and out of the building are either staff or hired contractors. See, I don't know why. See, I do everything right to get this moment, and I sit here and listen to you people try to tear me down and come up with false reasons.
I'm
to
sorry, what do you
deny-
mean by you people? Clarify that for me, please.
Really?
What do you mean by that?
Everyone up here.
Okay.
It looks like, it seems as if I'm trying to be
I'm
made as
asking you
if I did.
questions to clarify that may help us. No one said you're not getting it, or no one said you did. I'm asking questions because you know what? That's my job.
I understand that, but.
So my other question, no,
okay.
hold on. My other question being here is, not so much a question, more of a statement. If some of these rules aren't being followed now prior to obtaining a liquor license, why would we think that you're going to follow the rules if you got a liquor license?
Could you tell me what rules I broke?
Well, if you're having a party with alcohol,
There's no party.
On 326, there's a police report from 326.
And I told you I filed something against the police department for this.
On March, this is a separate incident other than St. Patrick's Day. On March 26th, there was a party in your building, there's a police report on that.
There was
So
no
that's
party in my
another
building.
incident on top of the 12.
Am I not allowed to have people in my building?
You don't have
No.
occupancy, correct?
No, you do
No,
not.
I know, okay, I can't go in the building with people,
No,
not the public, people.
only contractors, that's it. Without a certificate of occupancy, it's only contractors, not for staff to interview or anything else.
Actually, I think we need to clarify that because.
Yes, 'cause-
I think that there are terms that are being used that are, I guess, terms of art, and occupancy is not, there wouldn't be a certificate of occupancy for this building that is a new one that's required. It's my understanding, anyway, from speaking with inspections, that there had been an occupancy permit for the last building owner. The problem that arises, and this is going to sound like, there's a different term, that when you submit a plan, which is my understanding, there's been a plan submitted for the redevelopment of the inside of the building, then you have to get a certificate of approval based on what I've been told by the chief building inspector, and also speaking with the fire marshal as well. So it may seem like I'm splitting hairs there, but there is a difference between the term occupancy permit and actually a certificate of completion of planned work to be performed according to the plans that were provided. And it's my understanding that there is work that is yet to be completed that would mean that that the plan has not yet complete, so there is not a certificate of completion. That's my understanding.
Could I ask for a clarification from Chief Yerke? So when a premises is being developed for public use, doesn't the fire marshal have to grant some kind of occupancy thing that it meets all the fire codes and all of that?
Speak in the microphone, yes.
Well, that's done in concert with the chief building official.
Oh, okay.
We're just a small facet of that, so they work hand in hand, because a lot of the fire code references the building code as well. So, and I'm not sure if there's any current violations that are outstanding, or that needs to be met. I would have to check with Fire Marshal Marty on that.
So, and I think that the International Building Code provision that is relevant here talks about the validity of permit. Says the issuance of a permit based on construction documents and other data shall not prevent the building official from requiring the correction of errors in construction documents and other data. The building official is authorized to prevent occupancy or use of a structure where it is in violation of this code or any other ordinance of this jurisdiction. So I think that was the applicable code section from the International Building Code. So the building official, chief building inspector, is authorized or can say, hey, that work's not completed, you can't have people in here. So, and that is, well, like I say, it's section 105.4 under the heading validity of permits. And that was provided to me today by the chief building inspector.
Actually, I don't know if, Miles, you're able to talk about the inspections and where that stands?
So one of the things that we're kind of talking about is basically, is it or is it not still a work site? And if it is still a work site, what does that mean, and should the public be allowed there? So there have been calls for some final inspections on work. There is still some corrections that need to be made, so those things have not all been officially closed out as complete. As a result, from an inspections point of view, there is still a work site present until those things are fully remedied. The only folks who should really be there are the property owner, their agents, or contractors working to complete that work on site. So I hope that provides a little more clarity along with what the city attorney is talking about.
And one of the things I also would want to point out is that what he's here for today is just asking for a waiver of the signatures. It is not, and that the determination on a waiver of approval is, in the event city council determines that it's in the best interest of the city that the waiver be granted. I mean, that's the issue we're talking about. And some of these other issues obviously may be factors. The city council is going to have to decide what factors are or are not important when you're looking at the best interest of the city. But I just want to make it clear that just because it hasn't been completed doesn't mean he can't go forward with applying for the waiver of the signatures. Those are not.
Yeah, I was just going to say, so for the, both inspections and for the fire marshal, when we're reviewing things, I mean, tomorrow we could get a call from one of his contractors who could have addressed those issues that had come up in a previous inspection, and then it will be passed. And then those permits will be closed out in our system. Same things could happen with adherence to the fire marshal's regulations. So, your vote tonight will not have an effect on whether or not we go through and we address those issues and get those permits closed out, presuming that the work is completed appropriately.
Well, Mr. Mayor, would it be a moot point to bring Agent Morris up to describe a little bit more, or explain the memo that he wrote on this?
No, it's not a mute issue. Once again, as Alderman Hurt proposed, his concerns are that if things were in violation beforehand, what makes it set this pace for then after, if there was a liquor license? So
I think that's the concern of mine as well.
Yeah, I'd like to hear from the PD.
Okay.
Can I make a statement real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I'm sitting here like dumbfounded that you all have all this information. I don't have anything. So will I exclude it out of your conversations of this particular incident? Because I don't have any police reports. I don't have any copies of flyers. I don't have any letters stating that there were MMA fights there. Why was not, I was not given that information?
I can't explain that.
It was in an email from John, April 20th at 4 p.m.
I sent it from the city attorney.
Excuse me. Can I make something very clear? My building has not ever had any code violations. I've had deficiencies, okay? And as far as what Miles was talking about, everything was passed. There's only one thing I'm waiting on, and that's the plumbing, which the roughing was passed. And it's just a final inspection that needs to be done. Now, as far as all this information you all are getting from the police, you've already have gotten bad information from the police and denied me a liquor license from the information before. So anything that the police gives you, I don't hold much weight over, and I don't think you should either, because they have blatantly lied against me already. So it's already well known that the police and the black community don't mix very well together, and evidence is they're watching me. And I've told you this before, that anytime I'm in my building, and this doesn't happen to anyone else, the police will pull up and park there and stare at me. Now, I've been in Billy Bob's twice to talk to him about purchasing equipment with staff there. There's no reports of that. Why isn't there any reports of that? I've been there twice. I can show you emails of me going there after work. I don't get off work till 7 o'clock. This looks like it is a setup to deny me. And I want to make that very clear, because I have not done nothing wrong. I've stayed out of trouble. I graduated from college. It is a charge on my last police report saying I was in jail or in trouble the year I got my college degree.
That hasn't been brought up, and that's not part of the
No, but I'm saying
discussion.
you all brought up the police reports, and I'm telling you about how the police has already lied on me. And they're coming and feeding you information. I'm in the building Saturday. They come and give you information Monday.
Yeah. My understanding, there's some videos out there also of it, so it's not...
Please use the videos.
But that's,
Use them. I've asked you to use them. Use them.
I haven't seen them. Yes, you can. It's open. It's an open meeting.
Just 1 second.
Yes.
And just, so I'm a property owner, and I was one of the property owners that signed the petition, and regardless to all of that, my position, I think what your guys' position in regards to the signature waiver is that if you have a business that, or if you have a gentleman that wants to or is willing to invest in downtown Rock Island, you guys should be rolling out the red carpet. I mean, downtown is dying, and so, he's owned this building since 2017, from what I understand, and he's got a plan. It was a bar previously, so this is not news. I just think that you should at least give them a fair shot, and this is just for the signature requirement, and so in the event that things don't go as it should, the rules aren't followed, there's always a way to pull that back. So I just think you ought to at least give him the benefit of the doubt, because he's invested, and no one else is. That's just my thought.
Thank you.
I do have a question. The certificate of liability insurance, do we have that?
No, I'll let the attorney speak to that, although it's not a requirement for this specific waiver. It is a requirement for a liquor application, or a liquor license, so we still would not be able to grant him that pending the license as well as the permits and the fire marshal sign off.
Okay, and then also, on the Illinois Secretary of State website, it shows that the gathering is an Illinois corporation not in good standing?
That's been corrected. He did correct that, and I did check that off the list. So
Okay.
I apologize, I didn't include that in the packet. Wasn't.
How did you try to obtain these signatures?
I sent a copy to every address and building address.
And you just sent a letter?
I mailed a letter to every single address. It was 2 addresses per person. I sent 2 letters to every address, and the local buildings, for example, like the grocery store, I walked there and got his. I walked across the street to get Ms. Bermani's.
There's a reason I asked. 2 of them are my properties, so that's why I asked, because I've never seen you until tonight. So-
Okay, yeah, the previous, I believe the mayor was there, but his previous secretary, I showed her the stack of, some of them that I sent to the buildings were returned I don't know why, but I sent the letter out to, I did it twice, actually. Sent the letter, mailed the letter out to the first address and to the second address. I got some responses back from some of them, but a couple of them were no longer the property owners.
Yeah, some people are, when they do, they get them turned back, or they physically go to those locations also to get them.
It was a pandemic.
I think there was a request for Lieutenant Morris to come up and talk about those reports. Is that Mr. Poulos?
Yes, Agent Morris submitted a memo, and Alderperson Robinson, if you'd like, or somebody can forward it to you so that you have a copy of it. Agent Morris, I direct your attention to the memo number 22-017. This in regard to a memo of ongoing building violations occurring at 1720 Second Avenue. Can you go into that a little bit further?
Sure. Short of just reading it verbatim, the incident that occurred was the police were called to the Stern Center in reference to their garbage dumpsters being filled up by the staff of the El Loco or El Toro bar next door. After further investigation, once the police arrived, it was determined that the staff from El Toro, the Stern Center, was having an event, and their dumpsters were full, and they thought it came from the Stern Center. It was purple balloons, tablecloths, various different decoration items. So they, in turn, dumped it back into the Stern Center dumpster, thinking that's where it came from. I personally spoke to the manager of El Toro later, after this date of the actual police report, and he told me that he believed that the decorations came from the gathering. He looked inside, and the decorations inside the gathering at the tables, the balloons, tablecloths, matched what was had filled up their dumpsters. He didn't know if it was because they didn't have a dumpster. He wasn't sure why that was put into the El Toro, but that's where he believed it came from. He also told me that they were having a party inside. He thought there was alcohol. He couldn't verify that, but he said there was a party inside the gathering, and he wasn't happy about it with me when he talked on the phone.
Was there any proof of any of this, though? I mean, other than just a he said, she said thing?
So I went back and looked at the city video that shows the front of the gathering for that day and the previous day, and there are several videos that show people going in and out of the building of the gathering. One of the videos shows somebody coming out with 2 big bundles of purple inflated balloons and putting them in a car.
2 big what?
Bundles of purple balloons, inflated.
Oh, okay, all right.
Which matched the description that El Toro gave of what was in their trash.
Okay.
And you could see people through the window putting on tablecloths and decorating the inside of the business.
Another question, sorry, Mark.
Well, my question is,
I was looking for the time of,
why does he think there was alcohol involved? Is there anything to indicate that there was alcohol involved?
I have no proof that there was alcohol involved.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just curious as to the time stamp or whatever on that particular
Sure.
people coming in and out.
On the 25th and the 26th, it goes from approximately 7:30 at night until about 9:30 at night.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions, officer? Okay, good, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay, this is a very easily explainable problem. As I told you, Mayor, I was very close to opening and was trying to have setups to have pictures to put on my website, which I recently created. Now, this right here is a letter showing you that same day, I was supposed to have a dumpster delivered to the back. So people I hired to clean up and decorate, the dumpster might not have been delivered yet, and they might have used the dumpster closest to them thinking it was mine because I told them the dumpster was there. But if any of y'all need to see the letter, it was the same day you just mentioned.
Okay, thank you.
once again, the issue also becomes, though, is taking pictures of us, the building wasn't
Yeah.
certified for that type of occupancy.
What type of occupancy was?
Employees, setting up deals for pictures and everything else.
So was there any food involved?
Was there what?
Was there any food involved?
No, I mean, I went to Kennedy's Kitchen and bought me some food.
So these pictures I have of purple plates dumped in the dumpster outside my plate with food
I just said I
and
went to
alcohol
Kennedy's
bottles?
Kitchen down the street.
So there was food.
I went and bought food and brought it back for,
That's fine, but there was food. Whether you brought it in, doesn't make a difference, but there was food.
yes. I can't eat in the building. I mean,
So the empty bottle of Tito's, the Miller
I don't
Lite
know about
bottles?
none of the other bottles of alcohol. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? You going through the garbage, taking pictures and
It's
trying.
my garbage, sir.
Oh, well, no, I didn't, no, I'm sorry, but.
It's
Nah.
my dumpster.
I don't know
that
about
we're
no
talking
alcohol in your, because we wasn't drinking alcohol. As a matter of fact, if you check the city cameras, I went to El Toro's. Went to El Toro's. If you want to check the city cameras, because we was not partying at my place. We went to El Toro's. A matter of fact, when I was coming back from El Toro, as soon as I came in the building, there was an officer walking right past me.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? The audience, yes, sir, back there, somebody.
My question is,
Hang on, to get the microphone just so everybody can hear it, thank you.
yeah, my question is, like, for
Can you
one...
state your name, please?
My name is Othel.
I'm sorry?
My name is Othel Gay.
Okay.
Yeah, my question is, I hear everybody say they want to talk to all the managers of the buildings. Why did nobody go speak with Mr. Allen about the incident? Why was the Stern Center's talked to, El Toro's talked to, but nobody informed Mr. Allen until today? Wouldn't, it's like it's...
I wasn't part of that investigation, so I can't answer it myself directly. but-
I can tell you it's because my employee called the PD because we had nowhere to dump our trash. So there was a police report filed, and this is
Well, I understand that, but I'm saying when you called the police report, the police actually went to the establishment you complained about. You see what I'm saying? Like, you called 911, they went over there. So it's like when El Toro was complaining about his establishment, why didn't the police go over there and get his perspective like they got the other two businesses? And then it's like, I'm sitting here watching you guys pull out pictures of your garbages and blame his establishment, and that's sort of strange.
With all due respect, sir, it's my understanding that the officer did go to the employees of El Toro and talk to them, which is why the indication of it was their belief that alcohol was involved, which is why I asked if there was any indication that alcohol was involved to try to find out the truth.
No, I understand that.
The officer, I understand, one of the events, the officer did talk to him because
No, I understand that,
they
but
wouldn't
I'm
even let
saying,
him
I'm
in.
showing you how when it was a 911 call,
Yeah.
and they complained against, it was Billy Bob at the time, correct? Or was it wasn't El Toro
No.
at that time? So what I'm saying is when the police was called on the establishment, the police didn't go to the city council and complain on El Toro. They went over there to get their perspective of what happened. It wasn't an ambush is what I'm saying. It wasn't.
Yeah, the police officer did talk to Mr. Allen on one of the events.
About the garbage?
No, the one before
No,
that.
that's what I'm talking about. The one when he said, you spoke with the police department, right? 'Cause you say
I
you-
did speak with the officer. My
Okay, and then
employee
he
was
went
the
to
one
the,
that
then he
called.
went to the people that you complained about, correct?
He went to El Toro, yes.
Okay, so then El Toro made a complaints in a sense?
Yes.
And the police, so I'm saying is, if they're investigating, like, why would they would have to do it in front of the city council?
Mm-hmm.
Why would he have to discuss the garbage? That's sort of strange.
Mm-hmm.
He comes before the city council and you guys question him about your garbage, your personal garbage, your business garbage?
It was my business garbage.
No, I understand that, but it's like, what's the purpose of it?
I think we're
What's the
trying to
purpose of
determine
saying
whether
that-
there were people in there. is what we're
I know,
trying
but
to
what would be the purpose if you pull out a
Ultimate-
picture
I gotta say, we're
of
trying.
Tito's in your
Yeah.
garbage?
Can I
And
hate to.
ask him about it, like what, go ahead.
Sorry, I'm trying to interrupt, I don't want to interrupt, but I also want to bring back the focus of what's happening tonight. And what's happening tonight is to not truly just find and to investigate, so to speak, these events.
Okay.
Events happened.
Okay.
Whether everybody's talked or not, but what's the motion's going to be tonight, everything else, is whether to accept the variance of having signatures or not.
Okay, now my
Okay?
question is, does
And
this
so
building have any?
And I'm not blaming you, I'm
I
just
understand. So let me
focusing
get- so
it
my
back
question
on.
for the city council is, does
Yeah.
the building in question have any code violations?
He's, I don't know about code violations.
Yeah, you keep-
My understanding is that, from speaking with the building official, is that as far as code violations, there are items that have been under construction that have not been inspected, so they do not know if they are up to code. That's my
But there
understanding.
is a way for you guys to know if the building has code violations, correct? You can just call the building
If
municipal
you were to
code,
call
right?
for an inspection on those items, if you call for an inspection on items, so in other words, you pull a permit to do your bathroom or.
No, I thought I was present when you guys were there. He was there and you were there.
Sure.
And the question was, does the building have any code violations? And I heard him say no. He said, we can't determine if the building has code violations if the permit is still open.
Right.
Correct?
Right. So you have to call for a permit and get it
No, I'm
passed.
saying, but you keep accusing him of having code violations.
No, I
So my thing, I guess where I'm going with that is this. You pull out a flyer, you got pictures of the garbage, but then when he asks you, do you have code violations on the building, you don't really know? There's no proof?
No, that's not the case.
It's a different issue.
There's not been it is a different issue, but I can address that, which is, as we talked about, you have a certificate of completion if you come in with a plan.
No, I understand how it works. I'm saying, like, if I ask you right now, give me one code violation on that building, could you do it?
There are plumbing inspections that have not been called for, so if an inspector goes in and passes it, then it's not a violation. We don't know unless and during that conversation, you'll recall, the chief building inspector said, have your contractors,
I understand that,
have
but
them
could-
call for inspections.
But my question is,
You cannot
could you-
have,
I think the answer is there's no violations because the permits have not been finalized. So
That's right.
there's no
And
violation.
so the issue is, that doesn't, just because there's not a violation, doesn't mean you can have people in there.
No, I just hear you guys keep saying that he has code violations.
He hasn't met the code, they haven't finalized it and closed it, so we don't know if there is or is not. We don't know.
Well, okay, I guess I'm asking that because he's been denied the occupancy because of code violations.
No,
No?
because he hasn't, we're not sure it meets code. That's why. There's a difference. It's a work site.
But no,
But once again, just to be clear, the
I'm saying he
issue,
was denied the right to come before you guys a couple months ago because of code violations, correct?
no.
Am I correct on that?
No, that is incorrect. He was not, they're separate issues, Mr. Allen. You are, as I said, maybe a half hour ago or 20 minutes ago, this is just a waiver of the signature portion of it.
No, I'm just showing you guys, well, I just stood up to say I think it's strange that you guys have personal pictures and doesn't have anything concrete for, like, your allegations. You get what I'm saying, as far as, where it's code violation, it may or might not be them, but we have a picture of a flyer. It seemed like you would have the code violations here and say, well, these are your code violations, and this is why you haven't been able to move forward for 3 years. But it seems like you guys are addressing issues that you have no proof over, and you really believe it, like you. I heard you say, I believe you did have liquor there.
You heard me say what?
You said, well, if there's a party here, I would assume it's liquor, correct?
Well, when there's a beer mug on it, I would assume that means there's liquor there, yeah, celebration.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you would believe that. So the thing is,
That's
I understand.
kind of the message that sends. So, yeah, and again, then that's my job to question those things.
No, I
So,
understand that.
Yeah.
But as a person of the public, I have the right to say, okay, well, he got denied for code violations, and are there any on the building?
Well, but I think that as the mayor stated, you keep going back to code
No,
violations.
that's the question
There are
I'm
no
asking.
code violations
No,
right
that's the
now.
question I'm asking. I'm not,
We answered it. There are
No
no
code
current violations because we don't know and have not finalized the inspections.
have there ever been? Just in the 3 years he
No,
owned it.
it's not a matter of ever been. The
No,
issue-
it's, no, I'm not saying if
It
they're,
is
I'm
not,
saying
the
if.
building is not occupied. You cannot occupy with people,
I understand that.
okay?
I do understand that.
So that has been, for the last 3 years, it's been to the state, you cannot occupy it.
I understand that.
Different than a code violation.
I understand that
Okay.
also.
It's a work, they're remodeling, and you cannot have people in there unless they're contractors, and then they have to get the inspections come there, closes it out, then
The contractor
they get
is who?
certificates.
But what about city officials? Can they go in the building?
Yes, because they're inspecting,
Okay.
or checking on people that are in there, yes.
Well, that's all I was.
I want to be, I want your question regarding code violations too. My understanding is that the last certification on the sprinkler system, which would be a requirement for the public to be in, I believe it expired in December, but I could be mistaken if there's proof that has
Well, it
been.
did expire in December.
Okay, so that would be, I just want to be clear that when we're speaking about that, that was something that was talked about, but I don't know if it had been addressed or not.
Go ahead.
Okay. Well, once again, today is just, the only component that you're talking about today is the waiver of the signatures. And I guess so that everybody knows what we're talking about Section 3.6, and it talks about locations ineligible for a license, and then it talks about the signatures that you have to get, but the waiver that we're here to talk about just says, waiver of approval. The city council may waive the approval requirements relating to the property owners and/or adjacent property owners set forth in subsection C of this section, after holding a public hearing concerning said matter at the request of the applicant for a liquor license. In the event the city council determines that it is in the best interest of the city that said waiver be granted, then in that event, the city council shall take official action, therefore, to refer said matter to the mayor, who is the local commissioner, to determine whether a liquor license should be granted to the premises as requested by the applicant. We're here about the waiver of the signatures, and if there are other things that have to be addressed, I think they have to be addressed at a different day. And you and I had this conversation, you said, is there anything that prevents me from making this application? And I said, no, there's nothing that prevents you from making the application, and I think that's why we're here today.
No, I put in the application several months ago. I have an email,
You and I had a conversation, maybe.
and I have an email where the mayor told me I couldn't come before the council because I had code violations.
Okay.
Because I put in a written request for this months ago.
That may be possible, sir. I just want to make sure, when you and I spoke about it, and you said, hey, can I put in a request? I said, sure, you can put in a request.
Yes, you did. Look, I'm going to just be honest, man. This seems like a setup. Like, most of y'all know I've had this building for 3 years, and I've been dumping a ton of money into it. And, it just seems like everybody came here get up to find a reason to tell me no. And I just don't believe this would have happened if I was white. I'm just going to flat out say it. If I was a white person standing here with no bad background, a college degree, trying to open up a old bar in the District of Rock Island, I think I would have been welcomed with open arms. Instead, I got the police making false reports for me from day one. Again, I want that on the record. The police has already lied against me. I have it right here if anyone wants to read it. So, I'm here to get signatures waived, and I get ambushed with this and this and this and that. Nobody's greeting me with smiles. I don't feel welcome at all here. I'm looking around, everybody's looking at me like I'm a problem. And I've been anything but a problem. I've done nothing but try to cooperate. You know this, Mayor, because I call you, I email you, I talk to you all the time. I've done nothing but try to cooperate with Rock Island. That's all I've done for 3 years. For 3 years straight. Man, you want it this way, you want it this way, what you want me to do, what you want me. And now I'm being told I can't have people go in my building and paint and clean? Like everything in that building doesn't require a permit. You all know that, right? And you're telling me I can't hire a staff to go in there and clean up the garbage and paint the floor?
I don't think anybody told you that, sir.
You all did say that. You said nobody but contractors and you. Didn't they say that? You said nobody but contractors and you and the owner can go in there. And I know that's not true.
If somebody is working
And I
for
said
you,
there's staff, they're working. I said this.
Well, once again, we're getting off the agenda for tonight, and that's is to waive.
I just got
or not.
vilified up here.
Could I just
Yes.
clarify? So I'm looking at page 3 of the report prepared by the police department regarding the signature requirement. So he needs signatures from a minimum of 14 properties. He got 7. Is that correct?
Correct,
Okay, I just wanted that verified.
correct.
And then I had asked about the insurance, the certificate, and we don't have that.
Correct, yeah, there's no liquor liability insurance.
But that doesn't
Did
have
you
anything to do with the
understand that there was a requirement for the liquor liability
Has nothing to
insurance?
do
Because I have a quote right here.
Yes, it says right
I can't
in
buy the
here.
insurance,
So I guess
I
what
don't
I'm-
have the license
It's
approved.
for a license.
Right, but again.
That's not for
we're
the
here-
signature.
Hang on, wait, excuse me, we've got two conversations going here, I apologize, we'll get it.
I think what the clerk had mentioned before, the insurance is not a requirement for the signature waiver, correct?
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Again, for the record.
Correct.
2-year pandemic when I collected the signatures. I should be applauded for getting 7 out of 14 during a pandemic. Everyone was off of work except me during this pandemic, and I still managed to get those signatures. Because I work at Tyson. So the whole time, I was off. I was working, and everybody else was off. It was a real pandemic, everything was locked down, and I still delivered 7 signatures.
Well, I guess, and first of all, I will make a comment. I take exception of you basically categorizing the city council as, your comments of if I was white, and I honestly, I resent that. I mean,
I'm sorry you resent that,
well,
but I believe that.
I'm telling you, but what I'm
believe
saying
it.
is, you say you do everything right, but you know that, and then I'm looking over here, and we've got a sitting alderman who also owns a business, never received one copy. I mean, I'm just kind of wondering, what was your actual effort to get?
I sent a
to get
copy
your-
to the city of Rock Island. The city of
How
Rock
long
Island
have
has
you been, how long
every-
have you been trying to get these signatures?
How long have I been trying to get them?
How long?
I tried to get them for a certain amount of time, and I stopped. I was going to continue to try to get signatures. It was a pandemic, again.
Okay.
I think we need to move forward.
Yeah,
Because
I agree.
right now, we're setting a very bad precedence on how we are doing business in our city. I get it. We have some concerns for this business person who has took the time and took the effort and to put into our downtown, which is struggling. There's other means to handle some of the concerns that we have. This is not the platform, this is not the place. That is for the Liquor Commission. Our job here is to discuss if we will waive the signatures. That's it. But we've had a full-on trial almost here on waiving signatures.
I'm sorry.
So I just think we need to move forward. The Liquor Commission will receive our recommendation, whatever we go with it, and we move forward from there. Because right now, this is not getting us anywhere. It's going to a very ugly place. That's just my opinion.
I agree.
Okay.
So that's the issue in front of us. All right. You fine if we cut it off?
Yes.
I don't want to cut you off prematurely if you do.
Yeah, I just came here to get signatures, and I just had all these accusations, police coming up here, and then he tells me he doesn't understand why I feel this way.
I thought Alderman Moses just said, I thought we're moving on from this, and
That's right.
it sounds like to me you're just continuing this whole conversation.
That's not good there, Alderman Hurt. We should not do that to a business owner.
Okay, but we're not, this is not,
If you will
Okay.
I'm saying is, it's continuing on.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and vote.
And just, once again, I just wanted to mention that we're talking about just a waiver of signatures, and it talks about city council determining if it's in the best interest, and there's no definition of what best interest means, how you determine what that means, but that's the thing that we're here on today.
I agree, and I've told you, man, I had nothing but the best interest for downtown Rock Island. Do you agree with that?
You've worked hard at it.
Yeah, very hard. So I want that to be known, man. I've been putting everything I've had into keeping this building going, and I haven't been open. I've had it for 3 years. So, yeah, with that being said, man, I'm trying to cooperate with Rock Island, man. I'm not trying to have no problems, man. I'm just trying to open up my business and further advance me and my family's life. That's my only goal.
Okay. All right. We are going to close the public hearing and reopen the regular meeting, and looking for a motion.
I move to recommend to the Mayor Liquor Commission to waive the signature requirements as requested and approve the liquor license.
Is there a second? Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry, and Alderman Robinson, I don't know if this, if you were, the motion you're making was to waive the signature requirement and issue the liquor license. I don't know that all of the requirements for issuing the liquor license have been met, so perhaps you, I don't know if you want to bifurcate that or not.
I was just reading the motion that's in
That's
here.
what's written
Okay.
on this,
Okay.
so maybe
enough.
it's not.
Yeah, that is wrong. Should not say and approve a liquor license.
So I will take away my motion and make a new motion.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to recommend to the Mayor and Liquor Commission to waive the signatures requirement as requested.
I don't hear a second. At this point, it's dying to lack of a second. Then do we see if there's any other motions, or we just let it just dies?
Yeah, die for lack of a second.
Dies for lack of second. Okay. We move on. Item number 12.
Request from the Good Shepherd Presbyterian Church at 1822 24th Street to vacate a section of an alleyway located between two properties they own to locate two ground-mounted solar arrays. Second reading.
Move to pass the ordinance.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson, Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert. Aye. Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 13.
Report from the Human Resources Department regarding a payment in the amount of $11,652.54 to David G. Morrison, City Attorney, for services rendered during the month of March 2022.
Move to approve claims item A.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion?
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert. Aye. Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
B, report from the Public Works Department regarding payment to McClintock Trucking and Excavating of Silvis, Illinois, in the amount of $14,185.47 for the Water Service and Sanitary Lateral Repair Program Project Numbers 2526 and 2564.
Motion to approve,
Wait a minute, there's
another one, C.
more.
C, it's okay. Report from the Public Works Department regarding final payment to Centennial Contractors of Moline, Illinois, in the amount of $256,960.76 for the 35th Street Reconstruction 6th and 7th Avenue projects CRI 283.
No.
motion to approve claim items B and C.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert. Aye. Swanson.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
14.
Claims for the week of April 1 through April 7, 2022, in the amount of $591,968.70. April 8 through April 14, 2022, in the amount of $281,351.35. And payroll for the weeks of March 21 through April 3, 2022, in the amount of $1,517,165.87.
Motion to allow the claims and payroll.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert. Aye. Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 15.
ACH payments for the month of March 2022 in the amount of $843,389.37.
Move to approve the ACH payments.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 16.
Purchase card claims for the period of March 1 through March 28, 2022, in the amount of $69,534.20.
Motion to approve the purchase card claims.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 17.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding sealed bids for the application of 9,000 square yards of asphalt base rejuvenator at the intersection of 38th Street and 18th Avenue, and the application of 30,000 square yards of melting base restorative seal on Ridgewood Road, recommending the bid be awarded to Corrective Asphalt Materials of South Roxana, Illinois, in the amount of $48,570.
Motion to approve the bid as recommended and authorize interim city manager to execute the contract.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes. Wasn't that just redone, 38th Street and 18th Avenue?
Here he comes.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't mean to put you on.
That's okay. The intersection was redone before the rest of 38th Street was done. The intersection was done a year or two ahead of the main portion of that project. So there's two different products that that would be approving. There's a Reclamite and then a CRF. So the Reclamite product is what the contractor would use for 38th Street, and that is for newer pavements. It's for less deteriorated pavements, and basically both products are used to extend life of asphalt pavement. It's not a new, it's not a resurfacing or anything. It's applied to the existing asphalt surface. We've done some tests in the city of Rock Island. We did a test on 24th Street near Jordan Catholic School in the southbound lane, about a 30-foot strip that we did a test for. And that was done in, I believe, 2015 or 16 to try this product out. The city of Bloomington, Illinois has been using this product for a lot of their streets for a long time. And it basically extends the pavement life. So asphalt that's been, I shouldn't say crumbling, but needs attention, and you want to extend that life of the pavement, it can add about 7 to 10 years of pavement life. And it's a pretty cost-effective way of doing it without having to go in there and mill out and resurface the area that you're doing. So, but yes, the Reclamite project at 38th Street is for, that project is newer, but that's what this project is for that area.
So to be clear, there was nothing wrong with the workmanship of the project that's already there?
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
That was my point. Thank you.
Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 18.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding sealed bids for a 5-year contract for landscaping beds on 4th and 5th Avenues between 15th and 24th Streets, recommending the bid for the contract be awarded to Yard Vets LLC, Davenport, Iowa, in the amount of $160,000.
Motion to approve the bids for the contract as recommended and authorize the interim city manager to execute the contract.
Moved to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 19.
Report from the Community and Economic Development Department regarding a request to sell a city-owned parcel 11326 Ridgewood Road Farm Parcel to the Saya Motor Freight Line LLC for a distribution and truck terminal.
Motion to approve to sell parcel 11326 to the Saya Motor Freight Line LLC, authorize the interim city manager to execute the letter of intent, and direct staff to negotiate a purchase agreement.
Second.
Moved to second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item number 20.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding a resolution for the maintenance of streets and highways by the municipality under the Illinois Highway Code and request for expenditure authorization of motor fuel tax funds for the 30th Street reconstruction project between 6th and 7th Avenues.
Move to approve the request as recommended for the expenditure of motor fuel tax funds, adopt a resolution, and authorize the interim city manager and city clerk to execute the documents.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 22.
Report from the Finance Department regarding an adjustment to the calendar year 2022 budget, increasing the Park and Recreation Fund 555 revenue and expenditure budgets by $50,000.
Move to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
And Pulis.
Aye.
Item 23.
From the Finance Department regarding adjustments to the calendar year 2022 budget, decreasing expenditures in the Fleet Amortization Fund and increasing expenditures in the General Fund by $30,316.50.
Move to approve the budget adjustment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 24.
Report from the City Manager regarding the appointment of Richard Landy as Police Chief.
Move to approve the appointment as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Any discussion on this? It's too late now. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Yeah. Good way to get brownie points, sir.
Wanted them to feel it for a second.
Would you like to come up and we get your oath?
I'm for the long walk.
Yeah.
I'd just like to point out that when I first started, I took my oath right here
Did
in
you?
front of the city seal and the flag.
There you go.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Richard Landy, do solemnly swear
I, Richard Landy, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States,
and the laws of the United States,
the Constitution and the laws of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution and the laws of the state of Illinois,
the ordinances of the City of Rock Island,
the ordinances of the city of Rock Island,
and the rules and regulations
and the rules and regulations
of the Rock Island Police
of
Department.
the Rock Island Police Department.
I further swear
I further swear
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge and perform
discharge and perform
all duties incumbent on me as a police chief,
all duties incumbent upon me as a police chief,
according to the best of my ability
according to the best of my ability
and understanding,
and understanding.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Chief.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Action shot.
Well, I'm sure there'll be more pictures later,
Got the video, she's got the
Friday.
video on. Outstanding. All right. Item 25.
Report from the Mayor's Office regarding the appointments and reappointments to the Preservation Commission, Commercial Industrial Revolving Loan Fund, Liquor Commission, Board of Zoning Appeals, Park Board, and Fire Pension Board.
Move to approve the appointments and reappointments as recommended.
Second.
That was a real enthusiastic. Moved to second. Any discussion?
I just got a quick question. Do we have any term limits on any of our appointments for our boards or commissions? Just to
Yes, we
try to-
do.
We do?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Not all of them, but some we do.
Okay.
For this specifically, the Preservation Commission has 2 3-year term limits, if I'm correct, Miles. The rest of them, I do not, but I believe that it's up to that individual board or commission to set those term limits, and then we add them to the ordinance, if I'm remembering correctly.
I'm just looking for, sometimes we have a lot of people who want to serve in these different capacities, and if they keep reappointing the same people, we get the same results from what they're doing. Sometimes, it's not saying that it's bad, it's good, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's having new bodies on commissions and boards give a different perspective going forward.
Yeah.
So-
So, and in this case, some are new appointments.
Yeah.
And some are reappointments. And I do look at that and look at it. I try to keep my personal opinion on one of the things I look at is whole board in the longevity. You want some newer people there, but you like to have some history there also to help build that up. And that's what I try to, of course, to get input
And
from people.
I have no,
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
I sat on the park board for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But, but it's, there's a lot of individuals, we
Mm-hmm.
get new people coming in who move into the city, and they want to try to serve on some of these capacities, but.
And once again, as we always, try to always do, I shouldn't say always, but we'll try to always do is, when there's openings, we post it on Facebook and/or our website, and I think in most cases, it goes out to the council members. I won't say it's religious every time, because sometimes we forget, and I take a look at applications, and in some cases, I get them, and in some cases, I don't. I might have to make phone calls, talking to the directors, or whoever's involved with it, I should say. So it's a combination of things. But yes, that's a good point well made.
Most of the website pages for the boards and commissions, I think, list if there is a set term, and it also lists the members and when their term expires.
Correct.
Yeah, and I looked through that, and I would just like to make a suggestion that we only have people serve on one committee, because there's a couple committees that have that people are on duplicate, on several committees, and moving forward, I think, to Alderman Robinson's comment, there's a lot of people that we should be getting involved, and so I think really limiting people to one committee should be a goal of the city.
The council member made that recommendation.
That was a discussion we had
a while back ago.
several years ago.
And what was determined at that time, and we can change it, I'm more than willing to live with it, whatever, is that no one person serves on multiple boards if they meet on a regular basis. If there was an ad hoc, let's take the Stormwater Appeals Board, that group has not met for 4 years, 5 years, I can't remember, something like that, for example, long time. I used to be on it way back when, and so if someone sat on that one, it was viewed as an ad hoc as needed, so they could sit on something else if they wished. That's the way it was, the determination, and Judith, if you remember that. The Liquor Commission's the same way, it's an ad hoc, just as needed, and that goes in spurts.
Okay.
So that's what it's been looked at, but full-time, the ones that repetitive, for the most part, repetitive every month, if there is some out there, I've missed them, but I try not to repeat those.
Okay.
If that helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we did make some people actually go off because they were
Correct.
serving on two or more.
Correct.
and-
I know Belinda was one, and they had to go off one, and
David Levin.
David Levin was another one, and there were some others that
Yeah.
had to choose which one they wanted. So we tried to clean that up, but if I missed somebody, I apologize. Okay?
I will need to recuse myself from the vote because I am an appointee
Yes.
after all of that.
After all of that, that's correct. All right, roll call, please.
Well, not Alderperson Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 26.
Report from the city clerk's office regarding request from Othea Stevenson, Shiloh, Illinois, to use sound amplification and close off 12th Street and 10th Avenue between 11th Street and 12th Avenue and Glenhurst Court, Demars Way on Saturday, May 7th, 2022, from 2 to 5 p.m. as part of a block party against gun violence.
Move to approve the street closing and sound application request as recommended.
Second.
Moved in second. Discussion. I got to say that on this one, I've gone to this several times. I've talked to her a number of times. You may have met her. You talked to her, and she loves to talk.
She's a wonderful person.
She's a wonderful person.
She's done a lot.
She's done a lot. And I guess I bring that up because some people look at these issues as negative and blaming somebody or for issues. And in this case, she has been taking this incident and tried to make it a positive and turn the lights on is what she used early on, getting street lights fixed, et cetera. And obviously, it's an unsolved crime, which is unfortunate at this point, but she does it in a very positive manner and for her family. And so I got to say that I commend her for that.
Absolutely.
So I just want to make mention that it's worthwhile, because some people always take the cup half empty versus cup half full, and she's done that, so.
Yeah, and every year she's held some kind of event or done
Correct.
something.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And so she deserves recognition in her family for that attitude. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hurt.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 27.
Report from the city clerk's office regarding a request from the Augustana College Office of Student Life and Leadership to use sound amplification on Saturday, May 7th, 2022, from 1 p.m. to 11 p.m. at Lindbergh Stadium, 520 38th Street, as part of the 7th Annual Sloth Fest.
Slew Fest.
Slew Fest.
Slew Fest.
Slew.
Motion to approve the sound amplification permit as recommended.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Item 28.
Report from the city clerk's office regarding an activity permit application and resolution for the Corn Belt Running Club to hold their annual Quad Cities Distance Classic Half Marathon and 5K road races on Sunday, May 9th, 2022, from 7:30 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Motion to approve the event as recommended.
Second.
Just moved to second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye. Item 29, other business. For the cause.
One thing.
Yep.
I just want to thank Public Works and the city manager for extending the leaf collection by 2 weeks, because we have had such glorious weather that nobody has gone out in their yard and done anything. So I really appreciate the 2-week extension. Thank you.
Yes. Done this several years now, I think they've extended it. Really? I guess I was around for that, so I... Okay, okay. You had some, Judith?
Well, yes. So at the last meeting, I asked for the 2 downtown committees to be placed under the Open Meetings Act. Alderwoman Swanson concurred. I'm asking again, I know you've got an opinion from the Attorney General, but I believe it's within the power of the mayor or the city council to do this, and here's some reasoning why. So a lot of what the Downtown Steering Committee and even the Safety Committee is doing has to do with infrastructure, yet our Public Works Director isn't even on either committee. Council members would like to be able to voice opinions about these 2 committees, yet we can attend now the meetings, but we can't speak. And here's the most critical thing. We have not gotten public input on what's going on with our downtown revitalization. And I think it's absolutely imperative that we get their input so that we have buy-in from the public on this downtown revitalization. I'm sure a lot of our residents have ideas on how to improve our downtown or what would make them come back to the downtown. So I think it's important that we have full transparency and that we place these 2 committees under the Open Meetings Act.
I mean, I commented, my comment on that is, on a couple of them, a couple parts of it, is that sometimes on committees and like this, and on these 2 both, but is that if you do open meeting and it's public comment, or public, open to the public and everything else, a lot of people don't speak what they really have on their minds openly, and it gets squelched, and we lose out on potentially moving forward on some issues, or working properly, because people don't feel comfortable in the public like that, is one. The other one, as far as public opinion and everything else on the downtown, my comment are 2 things is we had that opportunity in 2015, is the plan we're working off of for the most part, that group is, I shouldn't say we, I mean, the group is working off a 2015 plan where the public did have a lot of input.
It's 7 years old.
It is older, but at what point do you eventually stop that? But second of all, is that there will be an opportunity that we can offer the opportunity to the public, is once they develop a plan, or the execution of the plan that's out there that they want, they feel, they're going to come to city council, and we can offer that for public comments, and it could be adjustments. It all has to come to city council for final approval. And there could be a chance that they present the plan, and then there's public opinion on that plan versus public opinion and then building the plan.
Are we going to guarantee public hearings and for so much time? Because it's like last time where he came, presented the plan, we had to approve it that night. So it was like, here's the plan, rubber stamp it.
That was for a grant that was going on.
Yeah.
It is up to this city council whether they want that to happen or not. It's not just my choice whether they want that to happen. If they do, then that would guarantee that there is one at that point. I have no problem with that. I'm not opposed to that.
I think we all just want the best for the city of Rock Island. I mean, that's obviously all we want, and the public might have some ideas that we have no clue about.
And that's
Or,
correct.
You know, the steering committee might be going down one path when that's not what the public wants. I have,
That's correct. And there's two parts to it, is that you got to remember that eventually, if the SSA passes and everything else, that's private dollars also, that those people feel like they should have a say-so, and in theory, not the public. Even if it affects a bit of the public infrastructure, it's private dollars that are doing it. Still have to come through us, and if it affects the public, this infrastructure, whatever, but it's private dollars. Now, the TIF money, the ARPA money, that sort of expenditure, absolutely the public should, have input on, and when the council has that approval.
Potentially, there is $7 million of city
correct.
taxpayer money that's going to be spent on the revitalization.
Yes.
But we're saying, okay, we don't want you to have any input till it's
No.
all done, or
But they can make it
or we
part-
don't want to be
Right.
fully transparent.
Now, it's not a matter of not wanting to be transparent. The issue is there can be an opportunity, and that we could talk to that group about saying, we want you to hold a public meeting, but not every meeting they have, but they hold or several public meetings, and then after that, it goes back, in between those times, it goes back to like it is now. And so you get input, but not every single time they meet that it's open.
Shouldn't they be getting public input now on things that the public wants to see? It's like by the time the steering committee has done their plan, it's like, well, it's already decided. Now is when they should be gathering public input.
There's question whether which one's the chicken and which one's the egg on those things. The issue is, and it's talked about a long, long time ago, is that's why we took the 2015 plan. I understand it's a little bit old, but at what point do you draw a line in the sand instead of saying the public did have an input? Because you could drag, and I'm not saying you, people could drag this thing out for a long time because you get public opinion now, but it doesn't take an effect until 2 years from now. Well, things have changed and we want public opinion again. At some point, you got to draw the line in the sand and say, we've got to move forward with this plan. Now, I think that Dylan's not here, he's on that committee too, can talk to that group about having a public hearing, meeting, for that. We could talk about that. I personally would encourage that group to do that.
I've even asked for the steering committee to create like a kiosk-type display and put it down here at City Hall, put it at the library, put it at RIFAC, put it at...
They're not there, they're not at that point yet.
Well, but no, what they've presented so far, some of their ideas.
But they haven't-
And then you, like, there's opportunity for people to leave comments on that. That even hasn't been done.
Do we have the capability of putting something on our website for folks to make comment on their ideas with regard to the downtown?
Can't do comments on our website.
I'm sorry.
Can't do it on the website, we don't have that ability. On Facebook you do, but not on website. The other, real quick, by the way, this is not it's a private group, it's not even run and managed by the city at this point. And that's what takes it out of the OMA.
But that's one of the issues that I have. It's our money, $7 million of our money. You should be appointing
But they're
the
not-
people.
And that's not true, because it still comes here. We haven't spent, they cannot commit money. This group is the only one that can commit where it goes and when it goes. And this group will still have to be held to that. Just because they come to us a plan doesn't mean we have to approve it. So they're not approving it, they're not spending it. I agree that there should be a town hall meeting, public meeting, or whatever, yes. Every meeting, no. But a meeting, yes.
Or at
Or an opportunity.
Or at least come to council and do an update.
Yes, the update, I can promise that to happen. Yes.
So just as a reminder, I attend all of those meetings.
Yes.
And there are thorough notes done by Jack Cullen for each of those meetings. They really do a nice job of recapping what they talked about. So those notes are available if the council would like to see them after every one of those meetings.
Dylan
So-
does forward those.
Yeah, so I mean, if you review those, they really do a good job of capturing what the discussions are. And again, if folks want to just come in and sit in on those meetings to sort of see what some of the discussions are, as was previously, discussed, that is a possibility to sit in on them.
But the public doesn't see those recaps of the meetings?
There's no reason that they couldn't be shared. We
Or
can certainly
can
talk
attend
about
to-
doing that.
We
So-
only recently received permission that we could attend the meeting, but not speak.
So I don't see any reason why those notes about the meetings couldn't be posted somewhere public for folks to see what the discussions are. I think there might be slight misunderstanding about what most of those meetings are really like. Generally speaking, it's slightly more banal things about, if a downtown placemaking organization gets up and running, what kind of services and programming will it really be responsible for, and how should that look, versus deeper conversations about infrastructure improvements. So it tends to be more those business and property owners and residents just sort of discussing, hey, if there's some sort of ambassador program like Jack has presented to you before about, what should that really look like, and what would we expect? Or if there's a marketing approach for the downtown, what would we as the folks who might be paying into an SSA want to see the money go towards in that way? So I think maybe if there's a way for us to talk about sharing those notes and get folks maybe to attend a few meetings, it would be very helpful in giving folks a sense of what this group really is talking about meeting to meeting.
That's a good idea. I'll get with Jack tomorrow and see if we can get an update scheduled. And sharing the notes is a great idea.
He's a good note taker, that Jack Cullen. My
I
gosh.
think there's just, in general, a little bit of mistrust and concern about there's so much money being invested in the downtown, but nobody knows what the plan is.
Sure. Well, like I said, most of the meetings are not, hung up on where's the $7 million going to go. And ultimately, the mayor is correct. I mean, that body is well aware that it has no final decision-making authority. Really, again, a lot of their conversations are about if an SSA gets up and running and we're the people who are going to be putting money into that SSA, what are the sorts of services and programming we want to see that downtown placemaking organization render? Jack, of course, has come to us, as staff and as a council with some ideas about improvements to infrastructure, but ultimately, it's the council that will have final authority over all of that spending. And that group is very well aware of that.
I think we just don't want a plan dumped on our lap and saying, hey, approve this.
Oh, fairly so, fairly so. Well, why don't, Mr. Grip and I can certainly talk with Jack about ways we can get some more information out, and again, I think that the group would be happy to have folks sit in, not talk maybe, but sit in on it and get a sense of what they're really trying to accomplish.
So, again, when are we anticipating possibly hearing something about the grant?
It was the end of May.
I'm not sure
I think the last
offhand.
email said the end of May.
Yeah, I think so.
Sounds right.
I mean, because obviously we can have these discussions, but if the number comes through differently, then obviously the plan changes,
Correct.
whatever that is. So,
Prioritizing.
and we keep throwing out the $7 million, and there's no guarantee that,
Could be just the 4 that we put in.
it could just be our 4, and there's no guarantee we're going to get the 3. So, I mean, I know why we talk about it, but I think the plan is going to, and the direction that the downtown goes is really going to be based on what kind of grant money we get, so.
The $7 million is not including the grant money. It's including the TIF money and the ARPA money.
No.
No, it's not.
No, that's
It's 2.5 money.
2.5 from the
million from
ARPA, and
ARPA,
$1.5 million
1.5
with the TIF,
TIF.
and that's the total commitment the city's made.
Yeah, but a lot of the leftover TIF money, when the TIF closed, it's all for downtown infrastructure
No.
improvements, right?
No.
Well, then maybe, Miles, you could send us an updated list of what was allocated when the TIF closed.
We can go ahead, I think, as we pull some numbers together, Mr. Grip, and maybe we can make sure to clarify exactly what that breakdown is
Yeah, we'll provide
for the group.
There was almost $4 million left in the TIF.
I don't recall that coming up.
And 200,000 went to American Bank, for example. And then there was another development, and I can't think of the name, right across from what used to be the old American Bank,
Yeah.
Gilbert's deal.
Yeah, I think two numbers might be conflated here, is the overall amount of money that came out of the TIF versus what portion of it went towards downtown, like streetscaping and infrastructure improvements, which was not not that amount. But we can double check that and make sure.
Wasn't that 1.5 million, correct?
What I think might be, that sounds more correct to me, but I think what might be helpful is I can go and pull the old resolution that shows how the council just like broke that amount down.
Yeah.
Because what we're talking about is that chunk of change that was originally allocated to a certain project that didn't move forward, and then how the council then, kind of in the last months of the TIF, redistributed it to a collection of projects that are listed out in that resolution you all passed.
There's still all money going into the downtown.
That's for sure. No argument there.
It's a downtown TIF. We can share the detail on that.
Yeah, we'll just pull up that old resolution and send it back out. We have to reference it ourselves sometimes to make sure that we've gotten everybody what they're due.
That group is only working with the 1.5 and the 2.5, is what that group is talking about.
And even not that much is kind of what I'm trying to emphasize here, is they're talking a lot about a lot of other things that don't involve these huge infrastructure improvements.
Okay? Anything else? I want to say that, I don't have any, but I know several went, Mr. Hurt and I went to the Rock Island Police Benevolent Party.
It was a nice picture, by the way.
We like my little mugshot or with our hats on, you know. They're a good one with the chief and us too.
Captain Ernie.
Captain Ernie. But it was a lot of fun, some good dancing, a lot of.
I didn't do that.
A lot of door prizes or raffle items. Great, and thank you. Good attendance. But it's well worth attending. Anything else, anybody?
Motion to adjourn to May 9th, 2022.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Roll call.
Alderperson Healy.
Aye.
Robinson.
Aye.
Hertz.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Swanson. Aye. Pulis.